Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are digging into a strategy that is, well, it's as powerful as it is controversial. Law 3 from Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power: Conceal Your Intentions.
So, let me ask you this. What's the single biggest mistake you can possibly make in any strategic encounter? You know what? To answer that, let's not start with the rule itself. Let's start with an incredible story about a time it was broken, catastrophically. Okay, so picture this. We're in 17th century France, and we've got this guy, the Marquis de Sévigny. He's young, he's handsome, but he is totally clueless. See, he's absolutely smitten with this beautiful, notoriously difficult countess, and he is getting absolutely nowhere. So what does he do? He goes to the master, the legendary courtesan Ninon de l'Enclos. And for Ninon, seduction isn't about romance, not at all. It's war. And she agrees to be his general. So Ninon lays out this incredible multi-week battle plan. And the goal? It's not to just run up and declare his love. No. The goal is to create this fog of emotional confusion. That's the key to any successful seduction, she says. First, she tells him, act like a friend. Then, make her jealous. And finally, be completely unpredictable. And you know what? It works, like perfectly. The Marquis follows her instructions to the letter, and boom, the results are immediate. Ninon's spies are telling her the Countess is totally captivated. She's laughing harder at his jokes, asking about him. The citadel, as Ninon calls it, is about to fall. But then, it all falls apart. He's alone with her, victory is right there, he can taste it, and he just can't help himself. He totally ditches the plan, and acting on pure impulse, he says the one word he wasn't supposed to: love. And just like that, poof, the spell is shattered. The second his true intention was out in the open, the game was over. All that magic, that mystery, gone, replaced by this ugly, awkward feeling. What was charming before now just seemed conniving. The door slammed shut, forever. So what's the big takeaway here? What did he do wrong? Well, this whole disaster brings us right to the heart of the principle the Marquis completely failed to grasp. And that is Law 3, conceal your intentions. See, the whole idea is to keep people off balance, guessing. You guide them down one path, you surround them with a bit of smoke, and by the time they figure out what you're really after, it's way too late for them to put up any kind of defense. Okay, but why does this work so well? Well, it taps into a really fundamental part of human nature. Our first instinct is just to trust what we see. Think about it. We don't have the mental energy to second guess every single thing, every single person all day long. It would be exhausting, right? So we trust appearances just to get by. But it's not just about being quiet, is it? There's a real art to this, and it really boils down to two main tactics: decoys and smokescreens. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the difference in approach here. Decoys, they're active. You're literally dangling a shiny object, a fake goal, to grab all their attention. But smokescreens, they're passive. You create this kind of bland, familiar exterior to lull them into a false sense of security, so they stop paying attention altogether. So, for a masterclass in using a decoy, we have to look at one of the sharpest political minds in history, Otto von Bismarck. Okay, so check out this long game. It's 1850. Everyone in Prussia is itching for a war with Austria. And Bismarck? He's a known warmonger. He wants it more than anyone. But he knows the army isn't ready. So what does he do? He gets up and gives this incredibly passionate speech for peace. It's a total shock, a perfect decoy. The king, who genuinely wants peace, is so impressed and grateful that he makes Bismarck a minister. And from that powerful position, Bismarck spends the next decade quietly, secretly, building up the Prussian military into a powerhouse. So when the time is right, he can finally crush Austria and achieve his real, hidden goal, a unified Germany. All right, so that's a decoy. But for the ultimate example of a smokescreen, that art of passive misdirection, we got to turn to one of the greatest con artists who ever lived. His name was Joseph Yellow Kid Whale, and he understood that the best cons need a thick cloud of smoke to hide what's really going on. He found his perfect mark in a man named Sam Giesel, a retired, wealthy, and, most importantly, bored businessman. Okay, so here's how this masterpiece of a con worked. First, the bait. Weil approaches Giesel with a totally normal-sounding real estate offer. That's the smokescreen.
He gets Giesel completely absorbed in the story about a lucrative land deal with some millionaire financiers. It's a world Giesel understands, so he's hooked. Now, with Giesel's mind totally focused on that big deal, Weil stages this passionate argument over something that seems totally random, a boxing match. He lures Giesel into placing a bet. See, Giesel is so focused on the land deal, he thinks the boxing bet is just a little side action. It's not. It's the whole point. It's the trap. Giesel was so lost in the smoke of that big land deal, he didn't see any of the glaring red flags, like the fact that the boxer was completely out of shape. And when the trap finally springs, he loses $35,000, which is over $600,000 in today's money, just to get away from a fake murder scene. Incredible. So what's the lesson here? It's that we can really only focus on one thing at a time. The yellow kid created this perfectly bland, familiar front, the business deal. And that smokescreen let him pull off his real plan, completely unseen. But, no law is absolute. What do you do when hiding your intentions is literally impossible? What if everyone already knows you're a deceiver?
Well, that brings us to the reversal of the law. Take someone like the great showman P.T. Barnum. His whole reputation was built on humbuggery, right? Trying to act innocent or naive would have been pointless, so instead, he leaned into it, he embraced it, and his very reputation for deception became the ultimate smokescreen, because people enjoyed being part of the trick.
It's like the philosopher Soren Kierkegaard said, "The world wants to be deceived." Sometimes people want the show. They enjoy the spectacle of being fooled, and you can definitely use that to your advantage. And that leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought for today. In our age, an age that's all about radical transparency and sharing everything, has the old-fashioned art of concealing what you're truly up to become the most powerful and maybe the most overlooked strategy of all?